guys, welcome to another episode of the Juan of Words podcast. I'm Juan Alanis.
My name is Angelica Casares.
And this is part 2 of our Lovers
Road Trip series.
Lovers Road Trip. Remember, she came up with the hashtag. She doesn't even use it.
It's our part 2 of our road trip to California, also known as the Lovers Road Trip.
Yeah, she was like, she was like, we should use this hashtag. And while we were traveling, and then
I didn't say we should use this hashtag because I seen it. I didn't see it.
And then who's the one that's over here using it? And I'm like, meanwhile, I'm looking at her post. And I'm like, wait, you're not even using the hashtag. Me agarró de su tonto. Like, I'm over here like using the.
Baby, pero ¿quién más?
People are probably like, okay. These like lover road trip, like really?
I know. Okay, so yeah. So we're back for part 2 of the road trip to California, also known as Lovers Road Trip.
Yeah.
All right, so where do we live off, right? So we're in San Diego. We show up in San Diego in the middle of the night. Of course, it dawns on us it's 2 hours behind, so...
We got there late?
Yeah, well, we got there late. It would have been 2 o'clock here for us.
That's right.
And it was 12 over there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We did drive in really late. Yeah.
Yeah, we were tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so we show up to California and
that was probably one of our first little spats when we got to the little thing, because we were both tired and we were both exhausted and it was past midnight.
Yeah.
And we were like, you get off. No, you get off.
No, that wasn't the argument. The argument was something else. I think I was like, get off right here, but like the drive directions or something like that.
Why would you pull up here? And I was like, because it's right here.
It was directions. The guy can't follow directions. And I was like, just follow directions.
You know how when
like,
you get
do what I want.
You know how when you're traveling and at some point, like when you've been in the car with the same person, you're just like, okay, like,
like that.
You both get like that, and that's how we were. We were just kind of like,
oh my
okay.
God. Okay, so we show up we're in California. We pull up in San Diego, and then we got into a little tiff, like back and forth, and of course we go to sleep, todos enojados, and
unloading the car.
You okay over there?
Unloading the car angry. You know how?
So Juan, oh my God, Juan.
Because we had all our stuff, and then we brought the little rolling cart out, and then we're like...
throwing everything in there. Oh man, shit's flying everywhere.
You're like, just go park the car. I'm gonna go upstairs.
Of course it's packed and I'm like struggling with it. I was like, I don't care. I'm an independent woman. I'll do what I want. I'm gonna do this. And no, we do. So with that night, I think we fell asleep mad.
Yeah.
Frustrated. Yeah, we did, because in the morning I got up.
I don't think we were mad. I think we were just kind of like annoyed with each other.
Yes. Yeah. So in the morning, I'm in freaking San Diego. This is my first time here. Of course, Juan is like throwing fits, and he's like,
that's right.
I gotta work in the morning. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't care. I'm leaving. I'm leaving you. Like, I don't care. I'm leaving. So we're like 2 blocks away from the marina and close to the water. So I like walk over there in the morning, toda sola, by myself.
Yeah,
right.
I like roll out of the bed and I'm like on my computer, like, hold on, let me just answer some emails. And next thing I know, she's like, I'll see you later. Call me when you're ready to go. Call me when you're ready to meet up with me. And I was like, what?
Yeah, because I was like, forget this, man. I didn't come to watch you work. I gotta go.
She was like, it's nice weather here. I gotta go.
Mm-hmm. So I go to the marina and I start walking up and down the marina, and it's beautiful. The weather, like I said in the last episode, is just freaking amazing, man. So I guess a way to describe the weather is that, yeah, it's hot and it hits you, like the sun hits you, obviously, right? But as soon as you get in the shade, it like cools down. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is not the weather I'm used to. So I was amazed by it, and I leave early. And of course I see a restaurant and I'm like, oh look, I was like, it's right on the water. I don't remember.
I want to say it was something like P or something. No.
No.
I don't know, but it was a really pretty. It was a really pretty restaurant.
It was right on the water.
Yeah.
And so I got over myself. I was like, okay, I don't want to have a bad time again. We call this the Lovers Road Trip. I don't want to have a bad time. I don't want whatever fights that we're having, I don't want them to last longer than they have to, or even last long at all. Like, I want to nip things in the butt. Like, I want to have a good time. You didn't call me. I text you.
No, I said, you call me or you text me? And you were like, hey, do you want to join me for lunch? Uh-huh. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, because I showed up to this restaurant and it was really pretty on the water, and everybody who kept walking up was like, do you got a spot? And I was like, hey, I want to sit close to the water. How long is it going to be for like a wait? And she's like, an hour. And I'm like, okay, can I put my name down? And mind you, it was like 10 o'clock in the morning for lunch, right? And I was like, can I put my name down? She's like, yeah. And so she goes, we'll text you when your table's ready. So I text one. I was like, hey, we have lunch in an hour. Meet me here. So that's what we do. And I'm walking like up and down the marina. And then I start seeing some of the stuff they have. And they have also, what was it? The trolley.
Oh, okay.
The tourist trolley or something like that.
Well, can I just say before you say that, like, well, so you text me and you were like, let's go to lunch or like meet me there for lunch. And so I started walking, and the last time I was there, like I stayed, if you're familiar with San Diego, I stayed at the Gas Lamp District, which is not really close by the water.
Gaslight
District. Gaslight? No, Gas Lamp. I think it's called Gas Lamp District.
Is it Gas Lamp?
I think so.
Okay.
And so I start walking, and then all of a sudden I see the water. And I'm like, oh, that looks nice. I was like, I don't think I came to this part of San Diego last time. And I was like, and the closer I get, the nicer it looks.
Beautiful blue water. Beautiful.
And then I literally, like, when I walked into the restaurant, like, it looked like one of those, like, movies and scenes. Like, it was like, you know, all of a sudden, like, I like walk in, and then Angelica's on the table over there with, like, a cocktail. And I'm like, oh, what the hell's going on here? Like, this is, like, what are we, like?
I came to have a good time. I was there on vacation. Yes, I was.
I was like, we're, like, living it up today. Like, because it was, like, a very nice ambience.
So, ambiance, yeah. So, it's like this, like, and the Grand Canyon has the same effect on me. It looks like somebody like pulled up like.
She looked like she added a couple zeros to her like
to my bank account. Non-existent. I was like, oh, like, he's like, she ain't got the money. What is she doing?
No, not because of the food, but because of I guess the way like it just makes you like look a certain way being in that restaurant sitting there with the cocktail, and I was like, oh shit, like then she
so the Grand Canyon has the same effect, and it looks like it went through Lightroom, like the view. There's nothing like obscuring the anything. It is gorgeous. The water is blue. It's beautiful, like a beautiful deep blue.
I mean, that was a great start to visiting San Diego.
Yeah, and when I seen the water, I was like, oh, this is so stupid. We're fighting over fucking nothing. So let's not do that. Yeah. So we do. We come, and of course we reconcile there at the table. I'm like, look, it's, you know, I want to have a good time. He's like, yeah, me too. So whatever. So I'm like, are you done with your work stuff? And he's like, of course, he's running around with his backpack. And
no, I didn't have my backpack then.
You didn't?
No,
you did, because you had the camera. That's right, but you didn't have the computer.
Yeah, I didn't have my computer. I just had the camera in there.
Yeah, so we're there, and then I tell him, I'm like, I'm buying these tickets to the trolley, and all these places that I had already searched what to do in San Diego, the trolley seems to hit each one. I was like, but it's kind of expensive. Here's the thing with San Diego. ¿Por qué? Does it, like, it's supposed to be family friendly. Like, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not even half a millionaire, okay? Not even 1/4, all right? Not even, like, whatever. Okay, the point is, why is it so fucking expensive? Everything is so expensive in California, period.
Because it's an attraction. Like, people go there. It's a destination where people go to. Like, it's so, like, people...
But not an affordable destination. Like, it's not fucking Vegas, dude.
But it's not Vegas. That's the point. It's, like, it's nicer than Vegas because you have, like, the water. You have, like, nice restaurants. You have, like it's a chill place to hang out. Like, it's got a chill
That's an expensive-ass chill place to hang out.
It's nice, though.
It is very pretty. So we go, we jump on the trolley, and sure enough, this trolley, okay, first of all, there's no window. No window between the trolley. And for those who don't know, but now you know, is that when I started having a really bad anxiety, one of my things was the lucid thought of me, like, overboarding anything, me, like, falling over anything. And so being on the road with this, you know, trolley with no window, it's scary as fudge to me. So, but I thought, okay, it's gonna go through, like, it's a fucking trolley. It's not going to go anywhere where it shouldn't. So we're hitting up, I don't know, we're hitting up the Gas Lamp District. We're hitting up the I don't know what district.
Balboa Park.
That was, that was the last stop.
Oh, yeah.
So we're hitting up all these little locations, and, look at the marina and the kissing, like, couple. And,
we passed by Chicano Park.
And yes, in Chicano Park. And I'm like, oh, my God. And they're like, oh, we're going to go to Coronado Beach. And I was like, Coronado Beach? I was like,
which is an island.
Yeah, and it's an island. He points over there, and I'm like, the only way we can get to a fucking island is 1, a bridge, 2, a boat, or 3, a tunnel. Which one is it? Tell me why they go max speed on this fucking bridge.
Oh, what was the song that he was playing that I told you he was playing?
I don't remember. It was like
just like the wild wind blows. I think it was I don't know. I don't know if it was that one.
I wasn't paying attention, Juan. I was like scared of my mind.
It was like a song that went with him like driving really fast, and everybody's like hair blowing.
Yeah, everybody's like,
and everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And
the first thing they tell you,
mind you, the bridge just goes like that.
It's up, so
then it like goes down.
Okay, so the bridge is between San Diego and Coronado, but this is the marina. This is where the Navy. This is where they dock their like stuff, and where the other like they disembark like these big old cargo ships also. So it's a huge bridge, right? It's freaking hot. So he like turns up the music. I don't know what it's playing, and the wind is just blowing.
It went with him doing that. Like, but I forgot what the song was.
He had to tell us not to stand up.
And I was like cracking up because I was like, this guy, he's like driving super fast, and he's like has everybody like like trying to take video and pictures, and there people are like, oh my god, like so like, and then he's playing this song like. I was like,
here's the thing. I would have never gotten on that trolley had I known it was going to go over that bridge.
But it was so much fun.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me the first time. I was like scared. I was like, oh my, and so I was shaking too, and I was like, oh my god, and I'm like trying to smile, and I'm like laughing, but it's a nervous laugh. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking faint. Oh my god. Anyway, so we get to Coronado Beach, and he does like the run through of like the front of the Coronado Beach, and it's beautiful, 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 beautiful. If you go to San Diego, you gotta hit that beach.
I think he said it was like it goes back and forth between number 1 and number 2
best beach
for families in the United States.
Not for families, best beaches here in the United States, period. I think between some of the beaches in Florida and that beach, that it's like 1 or 2. It always places pretty high.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we do that, and of course we gotta go back over the fucking bridge, and I'm like, I'm fucking over this. But one of the places Juan wants to hit was Balboa Park.
Yeah, because when I went the first time, they had taken us to Balboa Park, and I remember it was like this really massive like thing. Like it reminded me of like the San Juan Church in Texas, like that. It's like huge, like a massive place. But I think Balboa Park is bigger actually.
It was huge, yeah. Yeah.
It's like all these like old looking buildings, and like it just looks very historical, almost like Spanish. I want to say
20 times bigger than any mission in like San Antonio. Yeah,
I feel like it's like a Spanish building, like Spanish,
I don't know the history about Balboa Park.
Like, I don't know. But it was really pretty, like, but we didn't stay there long. We just kind of walked around.
They had the museum. Yes, we did.
A little bit, not that long.
So they had the museums. So Balboa Park, if you've been there, they have like some places, they'll have some gardens, and then they have some museums, and then they have this really long, what would you call it?
Like a walkway?
Yeah, like a hall, like a walkway where all the buildings are on either side, and it goes to like a fountain and stuff. It's a beautiful park.
It's like a good hangout spot.
Yeah, it's a beautiful park. Aside from just even that area, we only hit like a very small portion of Balboa Park, and I think we didn't have time to see the rest of it.
And then they had like the little area where they had like the different terrains, so like you could go and get your pictures right there. It was like an Instagrammable area.
Yeah, it was a very
they had, like,
beautiful park.
And then they had like the different like
the gardens.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gardens were very pretty.
Yeah.
But the rest of Balboa Park we didn't get to see, and we only got to see that part because we wanted to go to the zoo, right? Because the zoo is infamous, right? So
yeah, you kept saying like you were like the San Diego Zoo is supposed to be like one of the best in the country or something like that.
Yeah, it's highly recommended to go to the zoo. Like it's like top notch type of zoo. Like it is like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I was like, okay.
Like 5 out of 4 stars kind of place.
And you were like, do we want to go to the zoo or should we skip it? And I was like, well, no, like I've heard so much about this zoo over the years. Like, let's go see what this zoo is about.
Yeah.
Like, so let's go see it. And we went.
So we go to the zoo. I know before we go to the zoo, we go to the museum.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember the museum?
The Museum of Art?
The
museum
like the building
itself.
Of the art. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we go to the museum, and I carry around a
big umbrella.
A big umbrella for the sun. And so I check it in. So I'm trying to check in my umbrella because they're like, you can't walk around with that, and you got a backpack on and put it this. And so I'm not looking, paying attention too much. And we're walking around, right, this art museum. and I'm taking pictures, and sometimes to like upload like little clips and stuff of the things that we did and memorable things, right? The things that I want to look back on and be like, oh, I remember that. I remember this. I just do like small videos, and my videos are usually like 10 to 15 to 30 seconds, not even sometimes. And they're little clips of my life. And I hear somebody rushing behind me. Hey, stop that. No, I'm sorry. He didn't do all that, but I swear to God, I felt like that. He's like, hey, ma'am. And I was like, ma'am. I was like, so I turned around. He's like, you could take pictures, but you can't take video. I mean, so fucking loud to the point where everybody in that goddamn room turned around and looked at me. And I was like, why would you embarrass me? What
did I tell you should have said?
What?
You should have said, first of all, you need to lower your voice.
First of all, there is no reason to yell at me. Second of all, I'm sorry you didn't read that. I didn't see that anywhere. But I didn't. And I got yelled at like a kid. And you know what I mean? You shouldn't even be yelling at 2-year-olds or 2-year-olds or like second grade to fourth graders. You don't need to call the attention doesn't need to be called to the fucking crowd. It needs to be called to the person. Like it could have been easily like I'm going to go on a fucking rant because I hate this. I don't do that. Don't do that. If you work in any space or area and you see somebody doing something wrong and maybe they don't know any better or they didn't know, approach them like, hey, stand next to me or stand close by. I mean, 6 feet, I get it, right? You stand close enough. Hey.
You probably shouldn't touch them, though.
Yeah, don't touch them. But you should probably be like, hey, you can't take pictures. I'm sorry, you can't take video, but pictures are okay. Okay. Respectfully, I would have put away my shit and I would have been like, okay. But I was like, and I'm looking around and everybody's looking at me too. And I'm like, why the fuck are you trying to... I was like, excuse... Okay, but that was not all. That wasn't just it. He goes on, because apparently I took video and I didn't know any better. He goes on to follow me around. Right? And Juan thinks I'm paranoid. I'm like, no, he's fucking following me. I'm like, look, there he is. And he's like, oh, Angelica, whatever. I'm like, no, he's fucking right there, man. He keeps, every time he walks into the room, he makes sure he like surfs the room and looks at me directly, like, and looks at, like, you know what I mean? Like if I'm doing something, again, I didn't know, but I'm annoyed at this point, right? And I'm like, I got it. I'm going to fucking get his ass. Sure enough, I see him coming into one of the rooms and he's coming. I snap my fingers because that's apparently me being aggressive. But he's coming into one of the rooms and I'm like, I know he's going to come look for me. So I hide behind, like, there's a partitioner because they have artwork. There's a partitioner, right? So you can look. But this, I stand my back to the artwork, which means I'm looking, there's a partitioner here and I'm looking straight this way. And there's a walk where he's going to have to come in because he's looking for me. And I know he's looking for me. So he comes in and sure enough, he starts to surf the room. And then I'm in the corner and he looks at me and he does this. He does a double take. He looks at me like that, surprised, and I'm like, like a creep in the corner. And so he's like, takes off, and I'm like, I know you're fucking looking at me. Don't fucking look at me. Like, don't chase me around. You told me already because you fucking yelled at me, and everybody knows this at this point. And I'm like so bothered. So anyway, so I smile at him like, stop. Like, I see you. You've already, like, look, and I'm in the right mind and I haven't done it yet, but I'm sure enough going to put out a small little complaint to that art museum because, dude, don't yell at people. Mm-hmm. There was unnecessary to yell at me and then to chase me around goddamn art museum. Hello. So anyway.
But I was like, wait, like maybe he just happened to be walking into the same room that you were walking into. Maybe and then you were like, no, he's following me.
He's chasing me around. I can't even enjoy the artwork.
He's right there.
I can't even enjoy the artwork because he's chasing me around. And I'm like, so he's looking for me and I'm looking for him. Like, you know how you can feel it when people are looking at you? And I'm like, stop. Like, I'm not doing anything. Déjame en paz. So we go up to the second floor and he's up there too, again, apparently. And finally, I'm like, you know what? I already stared at you because you were getting on my nerves. And this time he has like his little some friend with him. They're like, and so I sit down. And again, I put my back against, the artwork. And I'm looking forward. He walks in and he sees me. But this time I stare at him as he's walking around the room. And he gets louder and louder with the person that he's talking to. He's like, and so blah, blah, blah. I'm like trying to make it seem as he's not like making me uncomfortable because I'm making you uncomfortable because don't fucking do that to me. Like, don't make me uncomfortable. I'm in my space. I'm in my place. Don't do it. So I make him uncomfortable and you can tell he's uncomfortable and he starts talking louder and louder and Juan's looking at me, looking at him, looking at me. And I'm like, yep. I was like, make it obvious, Juan, because we're connecting at this point. I don't know your name, but somehow, sir, our energy has surpassed itself.
I was waiting for you to say something like, big mistake, buddy. Big mistake.
No, oh my God. Can you imagine me? No, that's not what I do. I make you very uncomfortable though. So he stumbling over his words, and he's trying to talk to this person that he's with, and he's, you gotta, and he's getting louder. He's at a museum. Why the fuck are you yelling? You're supposed, you know what I'm saying?
He was just a loud talker.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't, because he was like, when he walked into the room, he walked into the room and he was talking to her in a very low voice. But the more he approached and the more I didn't break my stare, the more louder he got. And he would like glance and look at me, and just started talking louder because he was uncomfortable. And I was like, okay. And to myself, I was like, all right, Angelica, you made your point, leave him alone. So I was like, all right, at this point I'm not even enjoying this museum, let's just go get our stuff and just head on out. Like this is it. So anyway, so we ended up at San Diego Zoo. And but of course,
well, did we walk there or did we take the train there?
No, San Diego Zoo is like right there, remember?
Oh, yeah, we walked there.
It's like San Diego and the Balboa Park are like next to each other. We
couldn't figure out where the entrance was, but we eventually figured out how to get in.
And we had to go all the way around. Yeah. We're dorks. Anyway, so we go to the zoo, and before we enter the zoo, we got to buy tickets. You tell me why the ticket price to this entrance is the same as if you're going to like a park, like a what do you call it? An amusement park.
A theme park, yeah.
A theme park.
Depends on which one you go to, but it was more expensive than like because I remember the Houston Zoo at one point was like $7. I don't think it's.
I remember it being like $5.
I don't think it's like that anymore. But this one was like what, like $70?
We paid $130 for 2 tickets, 2 adult tickets.
Yeah, but you know what? Actually, like. At first, I was kind of like, "Damn, that's a lot of money." But I was like,
"It is a lot of money."
Like, you know, it's supposed to be this great great zoo. But actually, I thought it was actually worth it, because the reason I thought it was worth it was because of the little trolley they had inside there.
The buses.
The bus they had in there.
The buses. So they got a gondola.
It's like a safari style. Like bus.
It's a safari style bus. Yeah, where you sit on the 2 double decker, where you sit on top and there's nothing on, and you can see like down into like not the displays. What are they called? The exhibits. Yeah. You see down to the.
Are they exhibits? No, they're like the pens where the animals are in.
The pens where the animals are. They're not like cows and stuff, Juan.
I don't know, but like, so anyways, I did buy this little hat there, the San Diego hat, because I was like, you know what?
Exhibits. So you look down into the exhibits from the double decker, and it takes you all around the whole park.
But before we did that, like we stopped at the store, and I was like, you know what? Should I get a cap? And you were like, yeah, and I bought this one, and then you were like,
which one is that one? Let me see.
It's the one that has a little.
Okay.
Does it have a bear? A hippo.
Hippo.
It has a hippo on it, and then you said, I'm not going to buy anything. So we went and we get in this line to get into the...
Oh, is that where you want to tell the story about the hat?
We get on the bus, the safari bus, and then you're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go and get a hat.
Yeah, because I didn't realize
they said
that it was going to
be like 15-20 minutes before the next one leaves, I guess. I guess the man leaves, not shows up. And so you're like...
They depart every 15 minutes, yeah.
You're like, should I get it? And I was like, yeah, just go get it or whatever. And so like you ran off to get it.
Because of the sun. And I was like, I didn't want to put my umbrella.
We wanted to sit on the top.
Yeah.
And so you were like, let me go get it. And so you went. And then as soon as you left, like they started loading us up. And I was like, wait, are they going to leave us? Like,
they're going to leave Angelica.
I was like, wait, I don't want to but I don't want to lose my spot, because I was at the very front, and I was like,
the bag.
I'm gonna be able to choose whatever seat I want to when I get on. So I'm like holding up the line, and I'm like, wait, like I'm waiting for somebody to come. Like, can they get in still? And then they're like, yeah, we're gonna be here for a minute.
Yeah.
So I was texting you. I was like, can you hurry up? Like, they're gonna come. So I go up and I get like the best seat. Like it's on all the way in the back where there's no seat next to me.
Oh, that's right. You were in the front of the line.
So you can you can move around. So I was like, oh, this looks like a really great spot. Like at the very top of the thing, at the very end where there's no seat next to you. But then it started getting really full, and I was like, oh, they're like, they kept saying, as soon as it gets full, we're gonna leave. As soon as it gets full, we're gonna leave. And I was like, where's Angelica? So I was like, I'm like trying to walk off to not walk off, but just walk far enough where I can save my seat and be like, hey, and like there's somebody coming. And then I see you coming and I was like,
get up and run up there. Yeah. Because it was, yeah. So I just grabbed the hat and then I ran over there. I was scared that they was going to depart without me. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I had left all my shit on there too.
But no, it was like it was a good little like ride. I think it was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was about 40 minute little drive around there, a zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course you see the gondola. I mean, it's a beautiful, of course, San Diego, it's a little hilly, so it's like on its little hills or whatever, and so everything you see down into the like, it's a beautiful zoo.
I appreciated it because I remember when we went to Oklahoma and we went to their zoo.
That was a beautiful zoo too.
Yeah,
but it was San Diego.
But we had to walk around everywhere, and I was like, by the time we left, I was tired. So I was like, this is way better just to sit on a train or a bus.
Oklahoma City Zoo is also very beautiful, very beautiful. But because it's flat terrain, you can obviously see. So they have you have a better view of the whole zoo, as opposed to San Diego. You get little parts of it here and there. But it's a beautiful zoo. I definitely did like it. We didn't get on the gondola. And then we did get on a skywalk, though, that they had.
You were considering getting on the gondola, but then you saw that they were stopped.
Yeah, they would stop them. And I was like, nope, that's not happening.
Like, oh, no, I'm not getting on that.
Nope. You're going to watch the women cry up there talking about, get me up. Nope, that's not happening. I'm not going to be on their 5 o'clock news. We're not doing that. So we do. So we do the zoo. And then, of course, the little trolley that had dropped us off, of course, they stopped running about like 6 o'clock and it's already like 7. I'm like, Juan, what do we do? And I'm like, let's jump on these little, like those little...
oh yeah, the little what are they called? Where you pay and they like they're like scooters.
Yeah, the scooters. There you go, the scooters. We're not close.
Electric scooters.
So we're from Balboa Park to downtown.
Yeah.
And it's like and
it very clearly states on the sidewalk, do not ride on the sidewalk.
Yeah. So you got to ride these like on the street.
And who was riding the sidewalk the whole way?
I was, because I was scared as shit.
I was like, hey, look, you're not supposed to be on there. And you're like, I'm going to stay here.
Those cars don't care. The cars in San Diego don't care about you being on your little scooter. We had no helmet, nothing. But because we tried to take an Uber and like our app wouldn't work there or something, we kept having to cancel it, or they kept canceling us or something.
One of them canceled on us, and then we were sitting there and nobody would accept it. And I was like, maybe because like I guess they don't want to make the drive into the zoo and then leave.
I didn't understand why.
It's probably a waste of time for them. Like
probably. But I didn't know why.
Probably depending on the distance. Had we been going farther, they would have been like, oh, you know what, it's worth it. But since we were going so close, they were like, nah, it's gonna be too much pain. I can go do another pickup.
It's far that it's a long ass walk that I didn't want to make, but it's close enough that
for them it's not that much money.
Yeah, for them. But I was like, oh shit. So we get on this stupid scooter and we're like hauling ass to the hotel to like have dinner and stuff, so we can change and go and have dinner. So a few times. I was scared. I've never been that scared to ride a scooter in any other city. And we've done it before in like San Antonio, everywhere else. But San Diego, I don't know why.
I was more like a little bit like more cautious because of the last time I rode an electric bike and I like flipped over.
Oh, you flipped over the handlebars? Yeah, sir.
And I still have the scar on this arm.
Yeah, dude.
All right, like we were in Arkansas and we were driving the electric bike. And of course, Juan is like, oh, you know what? I'm going to take video and ride this bike at the same time. And meanwhile, they're like, it slopes down like that and like curves and stuff. And I'm like, let me take video. And I'm like taking video. And all of a sudden so I hit the brake all of a sudden. And the next thing you know, I'm like, boop, like literally flip over, like literally flip over entirely.
Not crash, but boop. No, yeah, not a cling, 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 cling. And I turn around, Juan,
it was like flipped over, and I'm like on the floor. The bikes are like
disarrayed over there. Juan's over there, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? And he's like, I was just trying to take a video.
My arm is like bleeding from here and like bleeding from here. My knees like scraped.
I know.
And then we have to make this like drive back up. And
ride back up, yeah.
Yeah, we have to make this ride back up this hill, and I'm like riding, and then there's a bunch of like walkers and runners, and I'm like going like trying to hide my blood. I'm like to not freak people out, so I'm driving like this, like with one arm down and one arm up.
That experience.
So because of that, I was like,
yeah, and you were still the one.
Maybe we shouldn't get on in Helica. But then once I got on, I was like, okay.
Yeah, and then you take off, and I'm like, you can't do that. Stay your ass here. And those scooters go up, I think, like 30 miles an hour. But or something like that.
To ride them, yeah.
And I'm like, hey, just because it's max speed don't mean you got to go max speed. Like, calm your ass down.
This episode of the Juan of Words podcast is brought to you by our friends at Comcast Houston, who we are very proud to be working with. And they recently awarded through their Comcast Rise investment fund in the community of Houston in the entrepreneur
At the price of how much?
They invested $1 million.
They sure did. To how many? To how many?
To 100 businesses. They each received $10,000. So
there's a lot that you can do with $10,000 in your business.
Yeah, and we are grateful for Comcast for their support of our small business and for the support of other small businesses. So enjoy the podcast, and thank you to our friends at Comcast.
Enjoy the rest of the episode. We go back to the hotel, and then we go for dinner, and we go to Little Italy. If you've ever been to San Diego, Little Italy, oh my God, it's the spot.
And we actually stayed in Little Italy because a friend of ours told us, she said, you want to stay in Little Italy.
No, well, not really. Not in the boutique hotels like in Little Italy, but like a block away.
Yeah. And we were like, she was like, stay in that area. And I was like, I didn't even know they had a Little Italy. And then we looked it up and it was like, oh, they do have one. And so we were pretty nearby.
Yeah.
That area.
So we were very close by, and we get dressed up, and then we head on into Little Italy. Like I said, it is beautiful. It's beautiful, like space in San Diego, but it's beautifully lit at night. And so I look up some restaurants.
Like a little bit of an Italian vibe, no?
Yeah. Well, I've never been to Italy, so I don't know.
I'm assuming I've never been either, but
it does give you a little like small town feel.
Yeah.
Like it's a little small town within a town or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it gives
like
you
small town within downtown of San Diego. I don't know how to explain it.
It kind of gives you the vibe of like New York, like when you're in New York and
it's a mix of a lot of things. I don't know how to explain it.
You're like when you go to that down that road and you're in Little Italy, or you go to like Chinatown and it kind of gives you that vibe where you're like, oh, like you're in a different like
space
for the moment.
Yeah. So I look up of some reviews to some restaurants, and we go to one. The food was amazing. The food was good.
And our waitress.
The only thing I remember is your food, because your food was the best.
Oh yeah, it was like a tortellini with like steak, brisket inside.
Brisket. Oh my God!
I was like, I've never seen a tortellini. I've never seen a tortellini with brisket inside of it. So I was like, I have to order that to taste it.
Yeah.
And of course, our waitress was like
Italian,
like
Italian,
like Stefania from Everybody Loves Raymond. Where she said something about, you ordered the thing and she was like, and you like, say that again.
And she like said it again because she thought maybe I was trying to like, and I was like, oh, that sounds beautiful. And she was like, looks at me and laughs, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. It's just a whole new language for me, and you sound beautiful, sound like saying it, like just, I don't know, the accent, the everything. I was like, oh my God, she's authentic.
And the guy next to us, I think there were like three guys sitting next to us, and they were being kind of loud. One of them, and I guess he was like Italian, and he kept talking about like oh, like that's Italian, the way he was talking, and I was like, what the hell, like very, like it felt like very like Italian vibe in the area.
Yeah. So I guess they have a big Italian vibe. Italian vibe. Population, yes.
But it was very international too. You don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, like, San Diego. Yeah, sure is. Like that, so it's so funny, so close to the border, so international.
Yeah, when we were sitting there, like we saw like a lot of different like ethnicities. It sounded like people with a lot of different accents from other countries. So it was kind of like, whoa, like this
the dialects were different. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like this is cool.
Yeah. So anyway, so we were there in San Diego, and we got to go the next day. But before we leave the next day, we get, of course, the one place that I didn't even think we were going to end up hitting, that was completely scary as hell to me to get there, was Coronado Beach.
Oh yeah.
The next day.
Yeah, we did go to Coronado Beach.
Spent half a day there. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
It was beautiful, but I just feel like I want to say like still Little Italy is worth going to. Like I'm still stuck on Little Italy. Like
you didn't go there the first time?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Like it was like, I don't know. There's something like.
Something about it
is like very charming. It's like, I don't know, it's just like something like, it's really like everybody's so relaxed, everybody's so like whatever, like I don't know, I just really enjoyed that. So I just wanted to say that because I was like, wait, I enjoyed Little Italy a lot.
Yeah, so did I. I did. It's too bad we only got to spend a few hours there just to have dinner and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been nice to stay at the boutique. Like it would have been nice to stay at one of the boutique hotels right there.
Yeah, like on there.
To experience that.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. Like Coronado Beach was like also
it's beautiful.
Really beautiful.
It's very beautiful. And the reason it's very beautiful is because it has a very high value.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The houses there are beautiful. Like
gorgeous.
Really pretty.
$1 million homes, of course.
$1 million homes. Like yeah.
So I knew that because this beach is like well known. It's a beautiful beach. You got to show up early if you want to like get a spot, especially to park. So we do. We go to Coronado Beach, and we're sitting there for a little bit.
And it was overcast.
It was overcast, and Juan didn't put on any sunblock.
Because I was like, oh, it's overcast. Like, I don't need any sunblock or anything like that. And
tell this to this guy who gets burned very easily.
And so like when we leave there, I'm like red like a tomato, like from my face, from my
but we have lunch.
Arms, my legs.
We have lunch at Hinky? No. What was it called?
I forgot what it was called.
Oh my God, I gotta say it. I gotta put this out there somewhere. I don't remember, but it was an amazing lunch also. They had good food too. So of course. Anyway, if you want to go bougie and you want to stay in a nice like little beach town by a very amazing city, Coronado Beach is the place to stay.
Well, I think for definitely if you're going like adults, like if it's adults traveling, not really with kids. I think it's definitely a hangout spot because there are a lot of like mostly. I didn't really see like other than at the beach, like I didn't really see like a lot of people with little kids.
Yeah,
like, I did see like maybe some teenagers here and there.
You could tell it was very adult.
But it was very much an adult like area, like adult vibe, and everybody was.
And not like club, not like nightclub adult, but like adult, like they're kicking back, like they're there to just relax.
Yeah. Like you could tell a lot of people there were on vacation.
Yeah. So we go to Coronado Beach and we're there for a little while, and then we just start driving the what is it, the Highway 1 coast up towards Los Angeles.
Yeah, and another friend had told us, she said, like when you drive from San Diego to LA, take I think it's the Pacific
Coast
Highway or something like that.
Coast, Coast 1, Highway 1. I don't know what it's called, but it's a beautiful beach. And then we stopped at some along the places also at one beach. And I mean, it is so fucking beautiful.
Yeah. And just like you just feel relaxed driving through that. Yeah. Because everything is like so like chill, and like the different beaches, like you just see like the different like areas, and then like I don't know, it's just like something about it. And like there was that one beach we stopped at, there was like a park, and it was like what was it, like caverns or something around it, or what did they call it?
I don't remember.
But it was like it wasn't mountains, but it was like formations of some sort. Like I guess there were caverns, I would say. That's how like what's coming to my mind. But
I don't know what to call it.
And then we just started walking, and like literally the coast is right there, like hitting up against these caverns, and people just kind of like lay out and hang out on the sides, and the water's like super clear.
Nice. Yeah. It's super clear. It's very pretty. Yeah. It is a little cold. Yeah. I'll say, how do I know? Because I've been down to take a picture of Juan, and then the fucking water hit my ass and bowed down my back, and I was like, holy shit. Yeah. That's the only reason I know where it's cold. It's cold.
Yeah, we didn't get in the water. Like I got in the water like to my waist probably, because I was like, no, this is too, like I don't want to be like that cold, because it was cold water, like both in San Diego at Coronado Beach and like along the coast. Yeah. Like it was cold water.
Yeah. So we make the drive up, and I think it's like what, 2 hours? 2-3 hour drive up
something
to
like
LA.
That. Something like that.
But we go to we don't go to LA. We end up staying in Santa Monica.
Yeah. In Santa Monica, we stayed like really close to the pier. So
before we say anything, we have a friend, Juan, a good friend, who I said, Juan, text her and ask her what do we do in LA. Sure enough, he texted her and she gave us our entire itinerary.
She gave us like a whole list, because we were kind of going to like LA, just kind of like, well, yeah, let's go to LA, but we didn't really have like
what do we do?
A plan. We didn't really have like, we weren't really familiar. And she was like, oh, you should see this, you should stay there, and she told us like, don't stay in LA, stay in Santa Monica. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, let's stay in Santa Monica.
So we did.
And that was a good choice.
Yeah, we like 2 blocks away from the pier in Santa Monica.
And we stayed, like you could say by the pier, but then the next morning we went on a bike ride.
So the next morning we wake up and we walk towards the pier. We're excited. So we're just getting up every day very early for whatever reason. So we walk to the Santa Monica pier. I hear that this pier is very well known. But of course it wasn't up and running, and I really didn't want to do like the whole like games and stuff like that, like anywhere to any pier. So we go to the beach, and I didn't know that the beach they have a very long beach before you get to the water. Oh yeah. In Santa Monica, or along the coast of like that area. I didn't know that. And so it was huge, like just area of just sand and sand and sand. And so we rent a few bikes, electrical bikes, and we take our little cruise down because they have a pathway. A bike pathway along the beach between like the, what is it called?
Between Santa Monica, and we ended up at Venice Beach.
No, not Santa Monica. So it's the beach, the bike path, and then it's like the houses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we go through Venice, which I'm a little confused by, because it was very the homeless live like on the beach.
Yeah, that used to be like that. Like I think that's recent, because when I went the last time, it wasn't like that.
Okay.
But this was years ago. So and I've heard that Venice Beach was like that.
What is past Venice Beach? Because that's where we were trying to go.
I don't remember.
There was another pier that we were trying to go to. I don't remember, but it's like on the other side of Venice Beach, and it was like a 20-30 minute like bike ride there, and then a 20-30 minute bike ride back.
Yeah, but I like that we could that you could bike like there, like to Venice Beach and bike back like in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
I was like, that was pretty. I was like, I didn't realize we were that close.
Yeah.
Because last time I was there, I was like, like I said, I was staying at the Gaslamp District, and I went to Venice Beach, and I thought I had gone so far. And this time I was like, oh, no, it's really not that far. It's pretty close.
What do you mean you were at Gaslamp District?
Yeah, when I stayed there the last time when I went on my own.
To San Diego?
Yeah, I stayed in...
Venice Beach is in L.A.
Oh, wait, you know what? I'm confused.
Yeah, you
I'm confusing the two.
You are.
See, I'm all confused about the
You're
LA,
all turned around.
my California trips. Because I'm like, wait, like...
He's everywhere.
I keep
I keep trying to do everything at the same time.
I just know it's like beach and it's nice weather, and I don't know, like it all just kind of blends together for me. And like, I don't know, I just know it's nicer weather than Texas.
Yeah, so we're on the Santa Monica Beach. And then what did we do that day? Beside the bike ride. Do you remember?
I think, isn't that when we went to Santa Barbara?
Did we go to Santa Barbara?
I think so. I think we just went on the bike ride, and we went to go look at, I think we went, you know what? We went to the East LA. Was it that day?
No, that was the next day.
The next day?
Yeah.
No, then we went to Santa Barbara.
Then we did go to Santa Barbara, right?
because it was a long drive from there to Santa Barbara.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So we did because I was like, am I mistaken or not? So we stayed 2 days in Santa Monica. But the first day that we woke up was we took our drive all the way down to Santa Barbara. That's right. We stopped at some like little place and took pictures.
Yeah, it was like a house, like some kind of historic.
Like
I was like confused. I was like, are we in somebody's yard right now?
Property, yeah. Juan was like, all right. No, oh my God, not what the hell is it called?
It was like I don't know if it's a mansion, but it was like a big house, and it was like
Malibu. We were in Malibu.
Oh yeah,
we were in Malibu.
That's where we got flicked off.
Yes, that's where we got like somebody. Yeah, they sure did.
Some like young teenage kids.
Some Malibu kids flicked us off because we weren't driving fast enough.
And of course, the Texans and us getting flicked them back up.
We're sitting there like Mr. Bean. No, but so we did. We went through Malibu. Of course, we did that one highway scenic drive up to Santa Barbara. And Santa Barbara. That is a whole other, like I was telling Juan, man, if we retire, if we live anywhere, if we had our dream place to stay, this would be it.
Santa Barbara is like, it's very
beautiful,
low key. Like it's very like
out of the way.
No, but it's very like quiet. Like when we were like,
it's a college town. I didn't know that.
At least when we were there, it was like really quiet.
Yeah.
Like
probably.
Yeah. Like at least when we were there, it was like really quiet. Like we went to we walked around. I forgot what the name of that place was. That was like a white building that had like I think it had like
it's like their mall or something.
They had like an Argentinian
their
restaurant.
Outside mall.
And I don't know what else, but they had like it was like very like pretty there.
So it's like the those stucco like place or buildings, like everything's white in Santa Barbara, and it's beautiful. It's so pretty. Their pier, we didn't get on the pier because we had already gone to the other pier, and I was like, I don't want to do the pier things, but I want to sit on the beach. You sit on the beach, and of course, again, like I say, they have their coast is their sand from like what the hell is it called? Their sandbar is like big. It's huge between the water and the road. And so we go and we sit there just on the sand, just looking around us, and I'm like, damn, this is fucking gorgeous. This is fucking beautiful. And we were walking down their downtown area too, and I was like, holy shit, Juan. I was like, I like it here. I like it here a lot. And
we ended up having dinner there at night, and it was also like a cool little night vibe. Like there, like when we came out there was also like a very that little street where they have all the restaurants. They had like
it came alive at night. Yeah,
they had like the street. They had the seating on the street. So
they closed off the street. Yeah.
So that was pretty nice. And there was like so many things to choose from. They were like, I don't know what to eat.
Yeah. So it was Santa Barbara is beautiful. It's gorgeous. On our way there, of course, you have to go through Oxnard, and if if you're from California, and Oxnard is a place where a lot of their fruits are grown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was interesting to see.
A lot of crops are there. The migrant workers that are picking the food.
Yeah.
Like it was funny because not funny, but it was like weird because we saw the next to it. You were like, look, so that's where like housing.
Yeah, that's the housing for the migrant workers. But basically the way it is like a huge land, a plot of like, you know, all the fruits and veggies that go to all of North America, and you know, but you also have the way they live. They live like kind of like pretty packed in because they move around a lot, and so they don't live like in neighborhoods. They live like on strips of land that is allotted to them through usually by the landowners who give it to them to
it's housing. Yeah.
Right, for them to stay while they're moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was like, yeah, like that's like you see
like the kids running around and stuff outside.
I mean, I guess to see the opulence of everything else in California, and then to see that, you're like, whoa, like that's like, you know, it kind of makes you like remember, like, okay, like, you know, this is like, you know, like a lot of our like family, friends, and people that we know, like, you know, did that do that work, have done that work, and it's like, wow, like that's crazy, like to think about it, like to see the difference, like. In the same like city, in the same state, I was like, it's kind of crazy.
They're worlds apart, but they're miles away from each other. Worlds apart, but just miles away. Calabasas is not even far, and that's like the highest real estate, one of the highest real estates, also, like right there. And it's like no less than an hour away. Like it's so weird, for them to be so close yet so farly removed from each other.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we do Santa Barbara, and of course on our drive back, it's late at night and we're coming back, and we do that one. Juan's like, oh, let's do what were you trying to see? Like on our drive back, I don't remember. We didn't end up getting to see it, and so we come back to the hotel.
Oh, I wanted to go to Beverly Hills.
Oh yeah, there you go. I didn't know it was like a
living in Beverly.
It's like a drive. Like we're going downhill part of the time.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that terrain.
Well, the good thing is that because we came late, like we avoided the traffic. So there was a little bit of traffic. We avoided
the LA traffic, yeah.
But there wasn't that much traffic. So like I think traveling the way we did, like late at night, it was like, oh, okay, like there's not that much traffic. You avoid sitting on the freeway unnecessarily for hours.
So anyway, so the next day, here we go. So the next day we come up to, this is our last night, and this time we're gonna do LA. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. We're doing the typical stuff that people hear about when you go to LA, right? You hear about Beverly Hills, you hear about Hollywood, East LA, you hear about I don't know what. And of course, this is us. We wake up and I'm like, Juan, I think Beverly Hills is in that direction. So we go Beverly Hills. It's just a strip. There's not much to it. I was so confused. I was like, we're going to see celebrities walking around. Like, it's going to be amazing. No, it's just a big old thing that says Beverly Hills.
Yeah, and there's like, but the houses look nice. The houses look pretty.
They're gorgeous. Of course they are.
They're very pristine. And then you can see like, up in the hills, like they're probably the bigger houses and the nicer houses. And then we were like, you know what? They probably have restaurants and shopping up there where they don't have to come down here.
With us peasants, like down here shopping. Yeah,
everybody's looking to spot a celebrity. Like, they're probably not in here. Not that we were really looking to spot anybody. We were just kind of like.
It would have been nice to see somebody.
I was like, I just wanted to see it in person because you hear about it all the time. Like, you know, it was like it was at they even had shows about it, like the Beverly Hillbillies and all that stuff. And I'm like, I just wanted to see it, like just to see. So
so the hills are like known for like the way they build the houses on there. Like they look like they're hanging off cliffs. That's my first time ever seeing that, like that kind of structure. And I'm like, if earthquakes hit it, won't it like fall apart on you guys? Like, won't it like something? I don't know. Anyway, so we do. So we live like literally. You just drive through Beverly Hills and you're like immediately in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
So that was it. Like there's a lot to it, but because we're not in the in circle, we only seen the what they show you. Only with the what they show you, right? Which is a bunch of, you're here, take a picture of Beverly Hills.
And bye now. And you said that all the celebrities live in Calabasas.
They do. Well, yeah, the bigger ones, the bigger celebrities do.
Like, yeah, all the celebrities. Because I was like, wait, we might see J-Lo here, and you're like, she probably lives in Calabasas.
You ain't gonna see nobody here, Juan. Go home. No, so we Hollywood, right? And I'm like, okay, are we gonna do this tourist attraction, the whole Hollywood thing? Of course you did.
that's like one thing you have to do at least once. Like I think Hollywood, because it's such a like thing, like it's like one.
So the Walk of Fame,
the
Walk of Fame is what we're referring to, and it's blocks. Apparently, it's mile. It's a mile of the Walk of Fame. Apparently it is. So I've heard. And I thought it was just down Hollywood, but it even goes into like the streets.
Yeah. And like, I think I don't know. What I'm curious about is I think they move the stars like when they like at a certain point, like I guess if that star, they don't no longer want them in an area, they can pick up the star and move it somewhere else.
I don't think so. I think that's the point of the Walk of Fame.
Oh, okay.
Is that they leave so much spaces open. So they do add stars to it. Later, yeah. On and on and on and on.
Yeah.
So I'm there, and I hear a couple of weeks ago that Selena Star was added to the area, to Hollywood, and I was like, I want to go see that. I didn't know. We parked at one end, and her star was like all the way over there by Capitol Records, and we like walk, hot as hell, to go see her star. And of course, we take like 2 pictures, and then we're trying to walk back, and it's hot as hell. And then
that's the only star I came to see.
We get jacked. We get bamboozled by a hot dog vendor. That was so not cool. He was like $5 for like the what was it called?
It was a Mexican hot dog. It was like a Mexican hot dog.
They got it
Perro
Caliente something or something like that. I don't know.
Caliente.
And
it's like a loaded hot dog with like all kinds of stuff.
It was good.
Yeah, like,
it was good. It was a good hot dog.
Like what do they call them? What do they call the toreados, like the chile?
Oh yeah.
Like toreados and like all that stuff. Like you could add all this stuff on there.
You hear Juan emphasizing on the food.
Ya me está saboreando. I'm like toreados.
So
those hot dogs were good.
So it's supposed to be $5,
they could
right?
rip me off. I don't care.
I didn't like that. So it's $5 for this hot dog, okay? And Juan, we don't have cash, so we have to pay with they accept Cash App. And so we're paying with the Cash App, and he's like, oh, because you're paying with the Cash App, I have to charge you the $1 for the fee. And we're like, perfect. He charges us $6 each hot dog. And I was like, wait, what? That's not the way this works. Like, it's a fee for one transaction, not each hot dog. How does this work? But anyway, of course, I told Juan, I was like, I would even have bought him a water. But the fact that he was just like, oh, I'm going to add an extra for both hot dogs. You know what I mean? Tell me if I'm wrong. Is that not okay? Is it, or you're perfectly fine with that? Like, look, if you say you got to add an extra $1 to my transaction because of this, but not an extra $1 to each hot dog.
Well, I could see the principle of it, but I was like, that hot dog was good. Let me go get another one.
You got it from another vendor. But he stayed with us for what, $1?
Yeah.
I was like, hey, like, you don't know. You don't know if I have that extra. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so whatever.
But I was like, you know what? Like, they're like, these guys are out here and they're like, if you go to any
hustling. Yeah, but they hustled us.
Restaurants. If you go to any of the restaurants around here, they're chains, and you're gonna spend a lot more than that on like your food.
Yeah.
So like they can have my extra $1. Like the hot dog was good.
Yeah, pero me quiso decir pendeja, and I was like, and it's the principle of the thing, okay, Juan?
That's what I said. I got the principle, but I was like, you know what? This hot dog's too good. I need to eat another one.
The hot dogs were good. So if you ever go to Hollywood,
like on the street, all
get
like
the hot dog,
babeando like mustard down our face. Like,
if you go to Hollywood, get the hot dogs. Like, don't tell them Angelica sent you, and be like, hey, you can't charge me an extra $1 for each hot dog. Just charge me $1 fucking for the transaction, not each hot dog.
But what did you think of Hollywood?
Nah. I mean, I wouldn't, like, if I'm there and I have extra time to like go, but I wouldn't go just to Hollywood.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think, like I said, I think it's worth seeing once just to say you've been there. But I don't think, like, when the first time I went...
No, not just to say I've been there, but to say I've witnessed. Because I've seen that, like, in movies. I've seen it, like, in pictures. I've heard about it since I was, like, a little girl. This Walk of Fame, these stars, and blah, blah, blah. And,
it's such an iconic place.
Yeah. And I was like, I got to see it with my own 2 eyes.
Yeah. And,
but again, it's not like the Grand Canyon where, like, oh, my God, I got to come back all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, I've seen it. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Mark it off my list. I'm good. So
check.
Like I had already gone, so I was like, I don't really need to go again. But I was like, but you should go. Like, so let's go because you should see it. Like, I think it's worth seeing. We're already here. Like, let's just go because I think it's worth seeing. And like, like they have like I like the way they have the older stars like.
And they're mixed.
Yeah, like where they have the older stars like in the cement and where they actually put their hands in and stuff like that.
That's different. That's different. To do your hands in the imprint like that is different than like getting a star.
Yeah, but that was like that was part of it, like the Walk of Fame or something. But it's different. But I like the way they did that. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Like, in front of the Chinese theater. Yeah. But so we're there and we have a really good time on the Hollywood Strip, and then we, of course, we're doing the touristy thing this time. On our itinerary was hitting up the Walt Disney Concert Hall.
Oh yeah.
As according to Juan, the Walt Disney World Park. It's a beautiful structure. Oh my God, what is his name? So the
architect.
The architect has. It's a famous. Okay, he's famous for the way he structures his buildings. That is one of the buildings, and I think there's 10 in total in the United States that had anyway. So it's an amazing building, beautiful building. It doesn't even matter like how you walk around it. It gives you a beautiful view at each level, and so it's a beautiful building. That was one of the things on our itinerary. If you go to Los Angeles, you got to go see that building. Period. Point blank. Go visit it. So we're there. We go to that building, and again, we're still doing the touristy thing, and we go to, of course, the things that we've seen in movies, East LA. So we go to East LA. There's a mercado there that one of our friends. So I hit up a friend, and I was like, hey, I would like to meet up with you. I would like to have lunch or dinner or something. We would love to see you, right? And so we are out and about. And we go to East LA. We go to this little mercadito. Tell me why they're not up to the times with the people in West Hollywood that they still only accept cash, not Cash App.
Oh.
So I'm sitting there trying to buy bread, some artisan stuff or something. And they're like, no, cash.
No Cash App? You don't say Cash App? And they're like, no. Yeah.
How do I buy? So we of course, we didn't stick it along. It's a beautiful little mercado. It's next to a cemetery, but they didn't accept anything, and so we were hungry as hell. And so we're looking around, and there's, of course, what Los Angeles is famous for is the taco trucks or the coaches.
Oh yeah, and they had and I wanted birria because I was like, we're in
and again
I was like, we're in East LA. I was like, let's try the birria here
because we heard it was supposed to be phenomenal.
And I walk up to the thing, and then do y'all take card? Do y'all take Cash App? And they're like, no, just cash. And I was like, oh.
So we go next. He goes next door to there's mariscos.
Yeah, it was seafood mariscos and I
tacos.
Bought,
two tacos.
Two tacos
of shrimp.
Camarón. Yeah, and they were huge tacos. They're fill up a plate. I was like,
and I asked Juan. I told Juan, well, give me the cocktail, the shrimp cocktail.
Yeah,
it was a fucking cup like this. I was like, it was like a family size cup. I was like, holy shit.
And so we bring the thing back, and I was like, wait, how do we eat this? It's so big.
That's right, because they gave us a fork. So it was pretty good. I have to say, here's a moment that I will never forget while I'm in LA. So Juan is buying the food, and he parks in this little thing, this little
It's it's funny because it's in the middle of the street. It's a median on the road, but it's not there's no cement. It's just a drawn out median.
Yeah.
On the ground. And then I was gonna go pull into the parking lot, and then I was like, wait, no, this is where all the people are parking. This is
I'm gonna do like the locals do.
I just saw them pull out of a pickup pull out here. I was like, let me just park here.
Yeah. So he parks there, and he gets off to go get the food, right?
And then everybody else parks there too.
Juan is all proud about it. So anyway, he goes. I'm not proud
about it. I just thought it was funny that you were like, no, go park over there.
I was mad. I was like, you can't do this. Dude, it says it's not like there wasn't no parking sign, but I was like, this is in the middle of the street. You can't park here.
This is where the raza parks. Let's park here.
God. Oh my God. Did you hear that? Okay. Did you hear that? So I'm sitting there waiting, right? And I look up, and there's a tree. It's a palm tree. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, that really looks like the plate. That really looks like the tree from Blood In, Blood Out. I was like, there's no way. The movie, right? And I'm like, hold on, where is this tree at anywhere? Where is this infamous tree that people talk about, Blood In, Blood Out? I'm in the area. I'm in Los Angeles. Where is this at? So I go and I start Googling and I start searching. Sure enough, that is the tree. I'm in the exact same spot where it takes place. And I'm like, holy shit, this is so fucking cool. So anyway, I wanted to mention that because I'll never forget that. By accident, I land there and I'm thinking about it because I see it and it's so famous, especially for a girl like me who, you know what I mean? Like I always related to that movie because it was ahead of its time. But you know what I mean?
You didn't accidentally land there. I landed you there.
Shut up. Shut up.
I don't like what I see. I got all the game. Don't get fucked in your brain. I can do you worse than you ever did me first.
My name is Angelica Casares.
And I'm Juan Alanis.
So if you're out here and you've left us a rating, Juan, you just told me right now we had a rating, right?
Yeah, I was saying that I was saying that people have a lot of opinions about our podcast and our like.
I don't know if they have it. Like they're not talking about us. They don't have a lot of opinions, but they've left us a review.
No, I say that jokingly because we've gotten a few comments here and there. And,
okay. So we're encouraging people to come leave us a rating and a review.
So you're right. One thing about us is that we are pretty thick-skinned. At least I consider myself to be pretty thick-skinned.
You are. So don't be mean to me.
So we take everything. We take all the feedback that you give us, and we really appreciate it because we feel like this is a learning experience for us as we're kind of learning to do this more and more. And where we started a year ago is not where we are now, but who knows where we're going to be in a year from now if we're still doing this.
Yeah.
But
we're enjoying it.
We wanted to take a moment while you're listening to this podcast to just say thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to us, and to remind you to share this podcast and any other podcast that you might have enjoyed with your friends and family, and to let you know that we're on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, all that good places that you can go and listen to podcasts. But you can find all our links at juanofwords.com and on all our social media accounts.
Back up on my piece shit. I don't care if you don't like it. I'm really different. Don't gotta show you I'm like that.
So we show up there, and then my friend, of course, I'm asking her what else can I do around the area, and she starts talking about this like old tire place, and they turn it into like an outlet, which is the Citadel. And I was like, really? So we hit up that spot, and it's an outlet store, and of course, like, you know us. If you know us, we like a really good outlet store. We don't spend like all our time and money there, but we do like to hit little outlet stores like every once in a while just to see what's out there. And okay, so I think clothes is cheap in Los Angeles, like in California, because I think some of the material and fabrics are made there also.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's why they have cheaper clothes. It's pretty affordable, like the clothes. Remember that jacket you bought on West Hollywood for like $15, $10?
Oh yeah, but it was on clearance.
Yeah, clearance, so like $15.
And it was a very nice, I think it was Adidas jacket or something like that. Like a very nice, like.
But so it also in California, they always have their limited editions there.
Where I was like, wait.
Like the patterns and stuff like that. Like, yeah, they exist there more.
Yeah, because we were about to leave, and I was like, wait, like. Is that everything on that rack $15? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, let me go get that jacket.
Yeah, but because it was a limited edition like jacket, Adidas jacket, and I was like, there's no way that's fucking $15. There's no way you would find that here.
Like here in Houston, they would charge you like on sale. You probably would get it maybe for $50.
Yeah, on clearance.
Yeah,
on clearance. Sure enough, Juan. But if you go to that, if you do anything in Los Angeles or in the California area, hit up their outlets, hit up their like discount stores, because you'll find stuff. And
then we went to the Disney store, which was a smart move.
Yeah.
Because we were like, you know what? Let's get our Disney gear here while we're here. So we don't have to get it at Disneyland, or we're going to like maybe pay more for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, let's get it at the outlet.
So we did. We hit up the outlet. Juan goes to the Nike store, grabs a few sweaters, meet up with our friend, and we just sit down. And Lizzie, listening. Oh, what is up with my thing? If you're listening to this, I had an amazing dinner / lunch. I'm not sure what to call it. Early dinner.
Dinner.
It was. Thank you for coming out and just talking to your homegirl here. Like, I really enjoyed that. I needed that.
And what did you get from her?
A hat and a purse. Oh man, I should have brought it.
So you should tell people what she does.
So she's she does a little bit of few things, but she has a website where you can buy like hats. She ornates them. It's what she does. She buys the hats and she ornates them. She's artisan.
She like designs them and like
yeah, she's an artisan. So, and they're beautiful hats. the fedora. It wasn't a fedora. Is it a fedora? I don't know what to call it. It's a wool hat. The quality is amazing. The added piece she added on was like pearl. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You know what? I'll wear it sometime at some point on one of these episodes.
What's
amazing
your shop?
hat. It's called Shop by Lizzie or Lizzie by Shop.
Lizzie, we're gonna get it straight together.
Yes, we are. Of course, we are. Yep. Yes, we are.
No, but it was cool to meet her, and it was nice of her to come out. And she was like, "Next time y'all come, tell me so that I can like show you guys around." And I was like, "That's pretty cool."
It's called Inspira by Lizzie.
Inspira by Lizzie. Mm-hmm. There you go. It's got a logo that says the word Inspira within it.
Yeah. On stop, it says shopping and retail statement with attitude pieces. Yes, it is. Beautiful, beautiful fedora hat. Not fedora, damn it. Why do I keep calling that? Beautiful wool hats, amazing jewelry, amazing purses. Oh, look, I like this clutch. Okay, so anyway, I bought another clutch from her. That one is pretty, actually. Okay. Damn it. What is wrong with my mic?
You gotta stop moving it.
I do. All right. So anyway, I had an amazing time with you, Lizzie. It was absolutely, I loved hearing your story. I loved hearing the things that you do, and you do amazing things for the community. Anyway, let me breathe because I'm thinking about that clutch. Okay. So of course we go to Disney. We go to the Disney store because the following day we go to Disney, but we have prolonged this episode. And if you want to hear a story about those kids at Disney and what happened to us, because that's a whole other cheeseman coming up. But yeah, we'll stop it here. Yeah, we'll continue our next one.
This was fun.
The next time. Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun, but this was fun. San Diego, like the SoCal. Like now we can say that we've been to SoCal.
We've been to SoCal. Look at us calling it SoCal.
I was like, I misspelled it. I think in an email, put SOCAL all together. And then when they replied to me, they said space CAL. I was like, okay, SoCal. Because
it's supposed to be Southern California. It's not an actual word.
And I was like, look at me trying to be all hip like SoCal. And I was like, no, it's not the right one.
No.
If you enjoyed this episode or like listening to our part 2, stay tuned because there is a part 3, and we're gonna talk about like how we ended our trip. How
Disneyland went for us. Like I said, listen to that because that whole chasing me around at the museum that I just told earlier. We have a whole other story coming up at Disney World. Yeah. No, Disneyland. Good God.
Disney World is in Florida.
Yes. I learned that in 4th grade.
And, all right. Before we leave, I do want to say thank you to our sponsor at Comcast for supporting our show and supporting our small business. And also remind you guys that you can find us online, find us on our social media channels, Angelica Cazares with a J, Angelica, right?
Angelica, ANJELICA _CAZARES.
Yeah, and Juan of Words for this show. You can find us both on Juan of Words, and if you go to our juanofwords.com, you can find all our links there and all our episodes.
Leave us some comments, some reviews. We'd appreciate it. We love comments. We read them. Juan actually reads most of them, but I read them sometimes. I very much appreciate. Yes, I very much appreciate the last comment one of the comments that we got. I very much do appreciate it.
And what was I going to say? Anyway, I lost her. I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, anyways, do leave us a rating or review. I don't know what else I was going to say. But anyways, thank you for listening. We appreciate it.
Leave us a rating or review. And if you're on the Apple, you're listening to us, give us a 5 stars. The more stars, the more comments or the more ratings we get, the more listeners that we potentially can get. And we greatly much appreciate every listener. If you're listening to us, let us know you're listening to us. Maybe mention, have you been to Disneyland? How was it for you in Disneyland before you hear our story? How was it for you in Disneyland? Did you like it? How was it? Are you a SoCal girl? Are you from California? Have you been to California? What was it like for you? What was one of the things that you most liked and was very fond of while you visited, or something? Let us know, because we're planning a whole other trip to California again, so we can take all the recommendations you give us. But yeah.
All right.
That's it for me. That's it.
No, that's it for me too, because I can't remember what I said. What I was going to say. I just lost track.
Oh my God. All right. So with that, Juan,
we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.